You know that feeling late at night when the house is silent and the world is asleep, but your mind is running a marathon. You're replaying a conversation from 3 days ago, dissecting every word. Why did they use that tone? What did that pause really mean? You're trying to understand a decision someone else made, a choice that hurt you, and you're turning it over and over like a strange, sharp stone in your hand, searching for an angle that will finally make it make sense. It's a kind of hunger, isn't it? An ache in the very center of your awareness for a reason, for a clear explanation that will finally let you put the thought down and rest. It's a deeply familiar kind of anxiety, a frantic search for the missing piece of a puzzle, because you've been taught your whole life that peace only comes after understanding. We're trained from our first day in school to be detectives of our own lives. Read the chapter, answer the questions, analyze the poem, explain the symbolism. We are rewarded for having the right answers, for breaking things down into their component parts and labeling them correctly. So naturally, we apply this same method to everything, to our relationships, to our careers, to our own feelings. We treat our existence like a dense, complicated book that we must interpret perfectly. We believe that if we just study the text hard enough, we'll uncover the author's true intent. We'll finally figure out the plot, understand the foreshadowing, and know exactly what it all means. But this constant analysis, this relentless need to figure it all out, comes at a huge cost. It keeps us in the audience, critiquing the play. It keeps us on the sidelines, trying to understand the rules of the game. It prevents us from ever actually getting on the field and playing. Think about it. When you're trying to solve a problem with your mind, where are you? You're not in the present moment. You're in the past, reviewing what happened, or you're in the future, simulating possible outcomes. You're everywhere but here. The actual living, breathing experience is happening right now, and you're missing it because you're locked in a room upstairs trying to draw a map of it. What if life isn't a book to be read at all? What if it's more like music? When you hear a song that moves you, you don't stop the track to analyze the chord progression or look up the definition of the lyrics. You don't need to. You feel it. You feel the rhythm in your body. A melody can make you feel a joy or a sadness that you can't even put into words. It speaks a different language, one that your mind doesn't need to translate. You simply let it wash over you. You can dance to it or sit quietly and let it hold you. You are a participant, not an interpreter. You are in the dance. And this is where we find the great paradox. Our most trusted tool, the one thing we rely on to navigate the world, our brilliant analytical mind, often becomes the very thing that builds a wall between us and the direct experience of reality. The mind's job is to take things apart. It sees a flower and it wants to name it, classify its species, understand photosynthesis. But in the process of dismantling it for understanding, the simple, breathtaking experience of seeing a flower is lost. The wholeness vanishes. We trade the experience for an explanation. We trade the feeling for a fact. We do this constantly. We get a gut feeling about someone, a sense of yes or no that has no logical basis. And what do? We immediately start trying to justify it with logic. We build a case for or against it, looking for evidence to support our feeling because the feeling alone isn't enough. We don't trust what we know until we feel we understand it. But that inner knowing, that gut feeling? Is reality communicating with you in its native language? It's not a puzzle to be solved. It's a signal to be received. The moment you pull it into the mind's courtroom to put it on trial, you've already lost the signal. You're just listening to static. This habit runs so deep. A relationship ends and we spend months, even years, trying to pinpoint the exact moment it went wrong. We need a reason, a villain, a neat and tidy story. Because the alternative, that it was simply a confluence of 1,000 tiny, unanalyzable moments, a shift in the currents of two people's lives, feels terrifying. It feels like chaos. The mind craves order. It demands a cause for every effect. But the architecture of reality isn't a straight line. It's a vast, intricate web of connections where everything subtly influences everything else. Trying to trace a single thread of cause and effect is like trying to find the one drop of water responsible for a wave in the ocean. The relentless search for answers, the desperate need to understand why, might be the very thing that's hiding the truth from us. The truth isn't an answer you find. It's a state you inhabit. It's the peace that comes when you stop asking the question, when you finally put down the sharp little stone and just look at your own hand. Is it possible that the deepest truths aren't meant to be understood by the mind, but to be felt by the whole of your being? That some doors only open when you stop knocking and just stand silently before them? This is the threshold we are all standing on now. A shift away from the old blueprints of thinking our way through life and into a new way of sensing, of feeling, of simply being present with what is, without the frantic need to label it. It's a quiet revolution, happening not in the streets, but in the space between our thoughts. By the way, our shared space of light and awareness is on its way to 100,000 people. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and brings this moment closer. So, how do we begin to make this shift? How do we move from the mind's endless hunger for answers to this deeper, quieter way of being? It starts by learning to trust a different kind of intelligence. Not the intelligence that gets you good grades or helps you win an argument, but the intelligence that resides in your entire body. Your mind thinks, but your whole being knows. This inner knowing isn't a conclusion it arrives at after analyzing facts. It's a direct perception. It's a resonance. It's like feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. You don't need to understand nuclear fusion, solar flares, or the vast distance the light has traveled to experience the warmth. You just feel it. The feeling is its own truth, complete and undeniable. The mind might come in later and say, this is due to electromagnetic radiation, but that explanation doesn't make the warmth any more real. It was real before the explanation, and it will be real long after you've forgotten it. This is the difference between knowing and understanding. We have been conditioned to value understanding above all else, but knowing is our native language. You feel it all the time. You walk into a room right after two people have been arguing. Nobody says a word, but you feel it, don't you? The air is thick with it. Your mind has no data to support this conclusion, but your body knows. Your being has registered the subtle energetic information in the space. Or when you meet someone new, and within seconds, you get a clear sense of yes or no about them. Your mind scrambles to find reasons. Maybe it's their clothes or the way they talk, but the feeling came first, fully formed in an instant. That's your inner guidance system speaking. It's not logical, it's operational. It works. The great transformation happening right now is this collective remembering of how to listen to this intelligence. It's about gently shifting our trust from the loud, anxious voice of the analytical mind to the quiet, steady signal of our inner knowing. And here's what's interesting. Once you start listening to this inner signal, you begin to notice that reality itself communicates in the exact same way. It speaks beyond logic. It uses coincidences, gut feelings, and moments of inexplicable peace or sudden discomfort. Think about when you're wrestling with a big decision and you suddenly start seeing the same number everywhere. Or you're wondering if you should take a new job and you overhear a conversation between strangers on a bus that speaks directly to your deepest fear or hope about it. The old way of thinking dismisses this as random chance. The mind says, that's just confirmation bias. But from the perspective of reality's architecture, these are not random glitches. They are signals. They are breadcrumbs. They are reality's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, psst, this way. These signs are not puzzles that your mind needs to solve. You don't need to build a complex theory about why you saw the number 444 3 times in one day. The point is not the intellectual understanding of the why. The point is the feeling that comes with it, the noticing, the moment of connection where you feel seen by the world around you. Learning to trust these signals is like learning a new language. At first, it feels foreign, but the more you pay attention, the more you realize it's the native language of existence itself, and it leads to a profound freedom, the freedom that comes from accepting mystery. Some things in this life are not meant to be broken down and labeled. Their power is in their wholeness, in their beautiful, terrifying unknowability. Think of standing at the edge of the ocean at night, under a sky full of stars. The mind can try to comprehend the distances, the number of galaxies, the physics of it all. But all that thinking just pulls you out of the awe. The true experience is in the feeling of being small and yet connected to all of that vastness. The power is in the mystery itself. We think that holding space for the unknown is a weakness, a failure of our intellect. In reality, it is an act of profound strength and trust. It's the decision to stop fighting the current and instead learn how to flow with it. It's admitting that your personal map of the world is tiny and that there is a vast, living territory that exists beyond its borders. And that territory is not something to be conquered and mapped. It's something to be experienced. This is the entry point to a much larger, more alive reality. A reality where you are not just a thinker observing life through a window, but an active participant in a cosmic dance. A dance where you don't need to know the steps in advance. You just need to listen to the music of your own being and the music of the universe, which are and always have been playing the very same song. Accepting that you don't need to understand everything is not about becoming passive. It's about becoming incredibly present, deeply attuned, and ready to respond to the authentic flow of your life. It's the final letting go, not of your intelligence, but of your intelligence's addiction to being in control. If this video changed something in you, write in the comments, "I accept the mystery." Write it as your promise. Nobody